bring together a group of remarkable people.
To see if we could become something more.
So when they needed us, we could fight the battles
that they never could.
In time, you will know what it's like to lose. To feel so desperately that you're right, yet to fail all the same. Dread it. Run from it. Destiny still arrives.
Evacuate the city. Engage all defenses. And get this man a shield.
Fun isn't something one considers when balancing the universe. But this does put a smile on my face.
Bring me Arsenal. I want to beat them again, like we did today. Big up, everyone. Welcome to THFC Till I Die, the home of Tottenham, past, present, and the exciting future under Ange Postecoglou. Philip, you need to unmute yourself. You have to unmute yourself. There you go. I'm perfect. You can't get the staff these days, guys. You cannot get the staff these days. Look at him wobbling his head up in the corner. Me. You're right up there, Mr. Tom Jones. You okay? You right?
Yes, Dermot. Yes,
yeah,
Dermot.
fine,
yes, sir.
You're going to sing
Dermot.
What's New Pussycat tonight and Something's Not Unusual. You're going to spring into song tonight
no,
for us?
No, I'm not. No. I'm going to sing How to Murder Your Co-Presenter.
Yeah, I'm sure there is a book out somewhere for that. But anyway, good evening. But I tell you one thing, I've got to start before I introduce my wonderful guests tonight. I do have to start with it. I'm sorry. Where is it? Now, Herbert Chapman, Tony Adams, Paul Merson, Boris Johnson, Prince Harry, Piers Morgan, Lego Man. Your team, I'm telling you, your team took one hell of a beating today. As we beat them 1-0, as we got over that. Thank God that's over. Kate's eardrums are about to burst.
So Boris Johnson's an Arsenal fan, is he?
No,
we just assumed he was.
All right.
I know Piers Morgan is.
Oh, I knew Piers Morgan was, yeah.
But anyway, let's welcome the guests in. Let's start with ladies first. Kate, great to have you back in the channel again. It's been a while, but great to have you on. How are you, my dear?
All good, thanks, Derm. Yeah, it's good to be back with you. Pleased for the ladies today. I think it's the first time they've ever beat Arsenal in a competitive match. So, fantastic result. And of course, the men won yesterday. So, all in all, it's been a good start to the weekend.
It is. And also here is a partner in crime, the man himself, Mr. Jim, just a guy who loves Spurs. Sorry, Jim, I keep saying just a girl who loves Spurs. I do apologise. But how are you, sir? Making his debut on the channel tonight, sir. It's an absolute pleasure to have you on. How are you?
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Yeah, excellent. Yeah, pleased to be here.
Yeah, we were
long overdue.
Yeah, it's great to have you on. I love bringing new people on, and I love I love watching your shows and what you got to say. And as I said, I loved listening to you and like Philip and that, your knowledge, and Kate as well, your knowledge of Spurs. I'm 46, and I was a little nipper in the 80s, but you guys don't have the knowledge of it, and I love listening to it. I just eat it up. I just love eating up Spurs knowledge, and you guys are legends of the Spurs.
I'd just like to point out that I am actually younger than you, Dermot. I will point that out.
Very good.
I don't want anyone
tell him, Kate. You tell
No,
him. You tell him.
that.
no, Kate, I never said. I always thought you were 21, Kate. I always thought you were 21.
22, actually.
22. Oh, okay. Yeah. And Jim's 20. Is that right, Jim?
Yeah, I wish.
And Philip's only 10. He looks well for a 10-year-old. God bless him.
Yeah,
But of course, my usual co-host, the man from Leitrim, the Tom Jones of the Irish community, Mr. Philip, the Godfather Brady. How are you, Philip, this evening, sir?
Yeah, I'm just after sitting through 2 hours of Strictly Come Dancing, so I think I think I need a bit more something a bit more substantial to talk about now. So yeah, great.
Have you learned anything?
Weekend. No. Just
I
the
thought we
week
was
of
going to see
Coronation Street won it. That's all I know.
I thought we was going to see your cha-cha-cha for a minute there.
Yeah, that's one thing you'll never see, Kate. You'll never see. When it comes to that, I've got 2 left feet, 3 left feet.
The question is, Philip, do you like watching it, or do you just do it to please the missus?
Well, it was either that or sit in a darkened room on my own, because the other telly that I've got, the skybox packed up, so I've only got 1 telly now. So I was stuck with
You
it.
still didn't answer the question. Do you like it?
No, not really. I like it for the I like the comments waiting for your man Greg, whatever you call it, to give somebody a bollocking every time they go. Everyone else says you're great, and he tells them they're rubbish every time, really. So apart from that, anyway, the week off from Coronation Street won us. Ellie, whatever you call her.
Do you know what, Philip? You should be an Irish politician. You're so diplomatic with the answer. You never actually answered the question. You asked the question with a question. It's brilliant.
Well,
I don't know how you do
what every
it.
politician does, Dermot. That's what they do here,
Yeah.
So,
don't I know? Don't I know? Yeah, politicians over here is either they're looking for money or they're just looking for money. We'll see who's in the chat tonight, Philip. And guys, we've got Ellie. Big up, Ellie. Just a girl who loves Spurs. First in, supporting all of you. Big up. This will be a great show. Big up, Ellie. Glad to see you in tonight. We've got Daniela Zito as well. Big up, Daniela. Good win for Leyton Orient today and Spurs yesterday. She's a very happy bunny. And we've got good evening, everyone. Coys, I'm happy that we've got such a wonderful panel to discuss yesterday's game. And of course, Dermot praising Basuma.
You're waiting for that.
Yeah. Praising them. Yeah, we'll be praising them in a certain way. This fella's in again, Philip. I don't know who he is.
I thought you'd barred him.
Yeah, well, he's back again. Anyway, THFC till I die. Good evening, everyone. Big up. We've got Paul G. Big up, Paul. Good evening, all. This is a nice surprise. Of course it is. We love giving you surprises. This is your early surprise. And then Kate's going to say, surprise, bye. I just hope he don't start singing surprise, surprise, Kate. Like Cilla Black.
No, I won't do that. I won't do that.
Big up to Paul as well. We've got Reverend FC City with the 2 eyeballs.
Liverpool fan, Revenite.
Yeah. It looks like Jeremy Beadle's about back in the day. That's what he looks like. We've got Ash as well. Big up, Ash. Saw a little bit of your show today, Ash, when I was pottering around the house working. Absolutely great job. So really enjoyed it. Good evening. Here for my favourite Kate. Well, maybe me and Philip and Jim can, persuade you.
That's a private joke because she told Ellie that Ellie's her favourite. That's what it was.
That's what Bruce Forsyth said back in the day, wasn't it?
Yeah.
When you did, you're my favourite. You're my favourite. We've got Brian Maguire. Big up, Brian. He says, Coys, we will see you in our review mirror. Yeah, right. Okay. Yeah, right. We've got AJ as well. Anthony Joshua. No, it's not, but big up, AJ. Good evening. Good evening, AJ. And then we've got Katie. Big up, Kate, as well from AJ. We've got Mia in the house. Big up, Mia. We've got big up, guys. We've got AJ saying, Jimmy Greaves. There you go. And then we've got Ellie say, big up my firmest team Spurs lady. So proud. North London is white, baby. Yeah, it is. And Ellie, if you heard my little Jason Cundy thing at the start of the show, baby crying, that'd be Lego man crying tonight in his bath, having his glass of milk before bed. And, we thought we'd give him a bit of a Jason Cundy thing. Go on, Philip. You always do Wayne Bonner. So go on. This is your
my throat's gone down. I'll try it. Good evening, everyone. Hope you're all well and having a great weekend. You know, the only blip on the weekend so far is West Ham under 18s beat our under 18s 4-2 today. That's the only blip.
All right.
We've got Spurs GCTV. Big up, evening on. Hope you're all well. We've got Jim saying hello to everyone. Hello. We've got Brian saying, Derm, be careful. The Don is coming for you. He can come all he wants. I'm ready. And then we've got AJ saying, Dermot. Big up, AJ. And then we've got AJ saying, Philip.
AJ.
That's
out of the way.
From what I hear, Jim's an honorary lady. Yeah, Mia, I'm a bit worried about this now. Jim, is there anything you need to tell us now about this honorary lady?
The girls will tell you everything.
We won't tell anybody.
Right. So, yeah, I know what that's like, Jim. I do know. We could write a book on it, couldn't we?
Kate could.
Yeah. Yeah, so could my ex-wife, but there you go. That's why we divorced. Good evening, Eltel Cockeral. Good evening, Dermot, Philip, and the Boxwells. Big up, Eltel. We've got Tequila. Hello. Too noisy. Why is it too noisy? I don't know. And then where else we got? Where am I? I've lost myself now. Yeah, big up to Joseph as well. Big up, Joseph. Hope you're all well. Hello, everyone in chat. Big up to Mr. Carl Simpson. Here we go. Yeah, sorry. I've really lost myself. There's so many people in the chat. Oh, yeah, we got Too Noisy. Where we've got Carl Simpson. Phillips on the fence, Brady. We've got Chris. Big up, Chris.
I think he's talking about the Strictly Come Dancing.
He is, Jim. Strictly Come Dancing. We've got Chris. How are you feeling after the THFC Till I Die derby today between Northampton Town and Carlisle? I think Northampton won, didn't they, Philip, in the end?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, so big up, ladies and gentlemen. I love my darts, but I'm happy you lot are on because sticking pins in my eyes watching the slowest darts players ever. I wonder who that is. Big up Dermo and Phil. Big up and guests as well. Steve D. Evening all. Very hungover today.
He was drunk as a sack last night.
Was he?
Now in my chat. Kept asking everyone to get naked.
Oh, dear. I can know. Oh, yeah. Big up, Steve D. Mia Tequila 316 actually got a sinus infection. Cyanide. Well, Mia, also for me and Philip and everyone here at THFC Till I Die, congratulations on your 1 year birthday on your channel. Absolutely richly deserved. A valid member of the community, a valid member of this family as well. She's always there. When we needed you, and when I needed you earlier this year as well, you and Philip both didn't hesitate of picking up the reins when I had to drop off because what I was going through personally, and I'd be ever grateful for that, Mia. So thank you so much, Philip. Do you want to say anything to Mia?
Yeah, I know Mia's always there if we need her. Yeah, very good, great Spurs fan, and isn't shy with her opinions too, which is great. You know.
No, Mia, just to say it, Højbjerg is still the best player of Spurs. Anyway,
I keep looking after Romero in the dungeon.
Yeah. Luckily, I just finished recording Dermo. Big up Tequila. We've got Daniel Sandover. Big up One Love. We've got Mr. EE. Hey DERMOTRON and guest. Big up Mr. EE. The dark room, Philip, is the one that will save you in years to come.
Yeah, I think so. It's over now anyway for another year. The only problem is the Irish version starts next month. How am I going to avoid that? Buy a new TV, I think.
Did you ever think about building a shed?
Well, I have one already, but I'm not going out there. You know, too cold.
Well, look, it's an option. It's an option. Chris says 2 mistakes from Northampton punished us. We should have won today, but leading to they scored the 93rd minute equaliser. But hey, I chanted we scored an effing goal. Actually, 2 goals. Big up, Chris. And
there was a lot of late goals today, up and down.
It's becoming a trend now, isn't it? Really?
Yeah.
They're all copying Ange Ball. That's what they're doing. They're all copying Tottenham. Mr. E, the fella down in the bottom right looks like Iggy from Tottenham away.
Iggy.
There's no resemblance whatsoever. You look more like Iggy Pop.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah. I was waiting for you to say something. I didn't know what to say to that question. I thought I'm holding the fifth. I'm pleading
Say
the fifth
nothing.
here.
Say
I
nothing.
was
know,
thinking
mate, he's a
David
good
Bowie
guy.
actually in his younger days. I reckon there's a bit of Bowie about Jim. Bit of David Bowie about him. What do you reckon, Jim?
When he wears his makeup, maybe.
But I am an honorary lady, so that don't matter, does it?
No, it doesn't matter. No, anything goes now. Everything goes now.
We'll be discussing different types of makeup soon, Dermot, if we're not careful.
Yeah. What shade are you going for Christmas, Philip? Dark or light?
I haven't
For
quite
eyeliner.
decided yet. I have to go to Boots now on Monday and see. You know.
You see Philip and Leitrim right at Boots, right, hanging up in the makeup department now, looking at different shades of eyeliner.
Oh dear.
That sexy Jim, Missy, big up DERMOTRON and Phil. Do you have the ducks lined up, Dermo? Oh yeah, I do. Oh yeah, I do. On the subject of Bruce Forsyth, he was a Spurs fan. Yes, he was.
He was, yeah.
I actually
As
watched
well, a
him
lot
the
of
other night.
those showbiz guys. Yeah, a lot of showbiz guys support Spurs.
Yeah.
I was actually watching the 91 Cup final the other night, and they did an interview with him and Chaz and Dave before the game, sort of thing. And Bruce Forsyth was like shouting, "Come on, you lily whites!" We used to say that back in the day. But yeah, I love Bruce Forsyth. Always did as a kid growing up. Always found him really funny.
National
Big
treasure.
up to Ellie. Yeah. There's not many of them around now, guys. Is there? Really?
He was definitely a national treasure.
Yeah. Ellie, just to go, love Spurs. Mrs. Puddle Dog is watching Kate. She's a big fan. Don't you know?
That's Ellie's alter ego. It's her posh alter ego.
Oh, so she's a bit like Mrs. Bucket then, or
Yes.
Mrs. Bouquet.
No, bouquet.
I
Please.
thought it was Mrs. Bucket.
It is
Right.
Bouquet.
Right. Okay, Ellie, you're now known as Mrs. Bucket now. That's it. That's your nickname now. Ellie, aka Mrs. Bucket. Or Mrs. Brown. What do you reckon, Kate?
I think she's a mixture of the two, actually.
Yeah, I love Mrs. Brown's boys. I really do. I do love it. Absolutely, it's great crack. Big up to Kate. Big up everyone. Mia, thanks to Keela. Coys from Joseph. Hope you're all well. Hello, everyone in the chat. We've got AJ saying Mia goal. We've got Tequila, just a little Brit for any Little Britain fans. I'm a lady. That's Jim.
Oh yes, Emily Howard. Howard.
Brilliant.
Yeah, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
It's nice to hear the Luton player on the mend. Yeah, it is, and our best wishes go to him. It was a heart attack he had, and we have got a question, a chat in the podcast tonight about ITKs and giving out false information. We've got Daniela Zito, Luton, Leighton Orient 1-2, 94th minute winner by Ethan Galbraith. Orient got any from Man U. He did. Steve Deason, like Kate. Kate's rolling around laughing her belly off. She's just come back now from having a laughing fit. Mia, thanks, guys. Don't worry. Carl says, "Don't worry, Dermo. Don't worry. Dermo looks like Dexter from Dexter's Laboratory."
I don't remember
there is
what
the
that
picture.
looks like.
Actually, I have got a picture. Carl sent it to me. And I want Jim and Kate's thoughts on this. If you're listening to this on Spotify, what do you reckon? That's me, apparently.
Do you know what? I can see the resemblance.
I can, but it's the red hair.
I have to say, I think Dermot looks more like Bungle out of Rainbow.
Do you know what?
You know the big bear with the.
Do you know what? You come onto a stream and you get insulted by being. Look, I'm Zippy. I always have been. I always will be Zippy. Bongle. Philip's Bongle.
Oh, I'm staying out with this. Jeez.
No, I've just realised play school wasn't around when Philip was a young lad. So yeah. Bungle. Thanks, Kate. Carl Simpson says Bungle. No, Mia's Zippy. No, Mia is Zippy. Actually, to be fair, that is Mia. Tequila said, "Nah, Dermo."
George, yeah. He was a hippo or something, wasn't he?
Yeah, Zippy
right?
and George.
Was he a hippo, was he?
Yeah, he was. Yeah,
Pink or pig, maybe. I don't know.
yeah, big. Yeah, and Chris Welsh says Dermot looks like Roz from Monster Inc. I'll take that. I actually do. Well, I'll take that.
Can I make a suggestion? Who you look like, Dermot? Slightly.
Look, my missus is next to me listening to this, right? She's taking these notes down to throw at me when we're in an argument. So stop giving her ammunition, please.
No, you like Onslow from Only Fools and Horses.
Which one's Onslow?
Which one's
Jeffrey
Onslow?
Hughes.
No?
Jeffrey Hughes. You know the guy, the lazy guy.
He was in Mrs. Buckets.
Yeah, he's in Only Fools and Horses. Not Only Fools and Horses. Keep on appearances. Sorry.
Yeah, keep it up.
Yeah,
Yeah, get that. See that a little bit.
Yeah, either that or Trigger. Trigger.
That was funny.
I'll take Trigger all day long. I'll take Trigger or Dave.
Where's your broom? Where's your broom?
I still think that's the funniest bit. Honestly, I love Only Fools and Horses. Always have done, always will.
Yeah.
Mia saying 1 skin, 2 skin, 3 skin, 4 skin.
She's at it again. She's at it again.
Yeah. And Ellie's just going, AJ, whoop whoop. Right. Thank God that's over. Please hit a like button and the subscription button on here on Kate's channel as well. Please, guys, as well, if you can do it over there. Please pick up your memberships on both channels. Please send in the super chat if you can on both channels, if you can. And always, it does support us. Keep us doing what we're doing. And if you can't afford it, please put your questions in the chat. We will bring them up and answer your questions. But if you can support us, it does help. Memberships start on our channel for $1.99 to $4.99. Kate, on your channel, what do they range from?
They start at 99p up to, I don't know if it's $5.99 or $6.99. I can't remember, but they start at 99p. So, yeah. I have a member show every 2 weeks.
Yeah. Well, we're going to start our member show after Christmas. Once me and Philip can work it out, basically. Can't we, Philip?
Whatever you say, boss.
Yeah. Yeah, the Beer Talks. I'm already subscribed to both, but I'll definitely hit both likes. Big up to Beer Talk. Thank you so much. Dermo took it as a compliment, so all is good. Yeah, I'm fine. I'm easy.
Big up Leo as well. He's just come in from Mile High Hotspur.
Yeah. Oh, big up Leo as well. That's frankly making me laugh so hard that my chest is hurting. Well, Mr. EE, it's okay. You're going to get many more belly laughs as we go along. It's like Philip's like the judge, right? And Philip's the dad and got 3 little kids here, like all mucking around. He's like he's in charge. And
I'm gonna get the rod out soon now. Start cracking it, So
lovely.
Oh boy, sorry. Right, okay.
Oh no.
That sounds like my sort of Saturday night.
It's okay, Dylan. It's after 9 o'clock. It's after the watershed. It's all right.
No, I just know when Mia's on. Mia goes for dog collars around Daniel Levy's neck, right? And she said this in one stream that she had to think about carrying Daniel Levy with a dog collar. It went into BSM or BSMA, whatever you call it. It went, yeah.
Not CNAs, no.
Yeah, look, Mia, she's at it again. You just give her an inch. Ooh, now we're on to whips and chains. You give her an inch, you take a mile. And then Carl's at it as well. Cracking what? If you can't do it on Saturday, when can you do it?
Exactly.
To anybody just tuning in, this used to be a football channel, but God knows what it's turned into now.
I was going to say that.
It's because we're on.
It's turned into an adult entertainment Saturday night system. Well, listen,
and it's Mia's fault.
Mature kids.
Right, guys. Well, look, let's talk about the game yesterday. And also, before we get on to pursuing that, I'll start with you, Kate, down in the gym, and then Philip, I'll go to you last. Kate, what were your thoughts on the game yesterday? Absolutely fantastic performance, I think, from the guys. 3 points, our second win in a row. Are you a happy Spurs fan?
I didn't think the performance was great. I'm not going to lie. I thought it was a bit up and down. I thought there was some good performances. I thought Porro was excellent. I thought Vicario was excellent. I thought Kulu was excellent yesterday. Obviously, Richie got a couple of goals. I thought Sarr was diabolical yesterday. The worst game I've ever seen him play. But we won ugly, and that's all that matters at the end of the day. He's getting the 3 points. And, of course, Basuma was a very silly boy. But we needed that. We need to try and get on another run. So yeah, it's. I'm happy because we got the win, regardless of how we played.
Yeah. And Jim, how do you feel? Are you happy tonight, or do you agree with Kate that look, the performance wasn't great, but a win is a win?
Yeah, the performance weren't. It weren't like the week. The week before was. I thought we were absolutely off the planet. I thought we was fantastic against Newcastle. It dipped a bit, but you know what? That's just football. Some teams they make it harder. You know, Newcastle were a bit open, and we could play our football. They closed ranks a little bit, and they Forest, and they're at you straight. They're like whippets, and they round your ankles. So I thought we did well. I was pleased with the performance because it's never going to be easy going to Forest and getting 3 points. Never easy for any team, you know. So yeah, I was pleased. We had a little bit of luck as well, but we had luck go against us against West Ham. So it swings and roundabouts. But Dermot, 3 points to me. I don't care how we get them, as long as we get them.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
the thing.
Exactly. You and me
I mean,
are on the same
it's
path
lovely
on that.
to watch It's lovely to watch the football like we've done against Newcastle, but it's just as satisfying to me at the end of the match when we take 3 points, like yesterday.
Yeah, it is. And Philip, you and me did the watch along to it. We weren't really complimentary over certain players, but what do you take from the performance 24 hours later?
Yeah, I mean, there's no such thing as a perfect performance, I don't think. And yesterday was far from it. I think, you know, going away to a place like Forest, we could never be as expansive as we were against Newcastle. And we did ride there. I mean, there was a couple of chances. I remember one particular chance in the second half where the Forest goalie, I think it was, at about 10 yards. No, Spurs played within 10 yards of him. And he blasted the ball over the net. If that had been a forward, that would have been a goal. You know, Dermot, you know what I was like at the start of the second half of that game last night. I was thinking, hang on, this is West Ham all over again. I could see it coming. And next thing, they equalise. And how it took 5 minutes to disallow that goal, I will never know. Because I think half the Forest team was offside. But no, decent performance. I agree. Papa Sarr did not have a good game. He looked completely off the pace. I thought the goalkeeper, Vicario, he's turning out to be the buy of the season for us. I think he's absolutely rock solid. Ben Davis, a much maligned Ben Davis, couldn't fault him. He was nearly man of the match, in my opinion.
Yeah,
but, you know, a good performance against a side that nothing came at us and lose, and it's never an easy place to go. So at the end of the day, 3 points is on the board. The performance doesn't matter; it's the points total that does, and that's where we got the 3 points. That's it.
I thought Sarr was better in the second half, Philip. In the first half, I thought he was terrible.
He gave the ball away a couple of times, very dangerous positions, you know.
Yeah.
And look, there is the team from yesterday. Look, for me, we'll get you guys to give your ratings. Look, for me, I thought Richarlison played well. He was very much so. I thought Sonny played well. He was fouled so many times. Basuma was a letdown. Basuma, for me, needs to apologise to the fans for what he did yesterday. Reckless or not reckless, you should not be doing that when you know you're on a yellow card or you know you're one game away from suspension. It is ridiculous. If that was Højbjerg or if that was Romero, everyone would be out today. He's a liability. He should be out the club. Sell him. Get off it. And as Basuma, nothing is said. We miss him for 6 weeks. We miss him from the 4 games over Christmas plus the African Nations Cup. So he should be apologising to the teammates and to us and to everyone. It's unacceptable for him. I thought for Vicario, me and Philip kept calling him the new Pat Jennings. That save with these legs. How the hell did he do that? I still don't know. And Ben Davis deserves massive credit yesterday. I backed up his performance from Sunday. 2 good performances, and Richie did as well. So the turn is tied for me with them. So, Philip, look, quickly, and then we'll go through the guys. Me and Philip are going to give our own predictions, player ratings in the separate show. So, Jim, what's your player ratings for that team last night?
Well, for the whole team, or the singular, how do you want it?
Oh, you can do what you want. You can single players out with the whole team. It's entirely up to you. So.
Well, I thought Vicario, he flapped that one in the first half, made me a bit nervous, and I started thinking, "Oh my God, it ain't going to be like that the whole game." But then he was fantastic after that. So I give him an 8. I mean, look, let me do it instead of doing them singly. I think overall, probably 7. The whole team,
Yeah.
7.
Yeah.
But we do Basuma separate. I'll give him a 2.
And you, Kate, what's your rating for the whole team and Basuma?
I would give the whole team rating a 6.5 on average, because Basuma I thought was poor, Sarr I thought was poor, so that would have brought the average down. I thought there were some good ones, but no one was outstanding. I thought, like you say, Davis had a great game. Kulu had a great game. Richie was good, but yeah, I was a bit disappointed with the performance itself. So I would say a 6.5, because I always am really stingy with my scores. So yeah, overall, I'm giving him a 6.5.
Do you know what I think affected the performance as well? When Johnson went off with a head injury, bringing Skip on kind of affected the balance of the team for a while. It took maybe 15, 20 minutes to sort things out there, you know, and that only for that, I'd say we might have pressed on. But I think Johnson's okay. I think it's only a head cut. It's not a concussion issue. So
yeah.
Can I just say, I thought Davis was outstanding. Apart from he made one mistake when he gave the free kick away just outside the box.
Yeah.
But apart from that, I thought he was outstanding, and I thought he was absolutely outstanding against Newcastle.
Yeah, he was. He really was. Philip, what's your over team? We are going to do our own video on the team from yesterday, but just very quickly, what's your overall ratings for the team?
Well, the 10 players that managed to finish the match plus the substitutes, I'll give them a 7. That would have been an 8 if Basuma had stayed on the pitch, but he's dragging it down. I'll give him a -2 because he really put us in the crap yesterday. I could have done. Second game he's been sent off, but the second game we've kept the clean sheet that he's been sent off. So it's kind of, you know, it hasn't cost us, but it's made things a lot more difficult.
Yeah.
And look, for me, I give the team an 8. I thought they were. Basuma gets a -100 for me. He's really let me down. But the rest of the team, they stuck to their guns, and I give them an 8. I thought they were fantastic. For me, Vicario was my man in the match. I thought he was outstanding yesterday.
Mine too.
And I mean, look, Kate, with Vicario, are you so pleased we've got a goalkeeper we can trust in goal now? That we know if it's a 1-on-1, you know he's going to be there. He's going to save it 9 times out of 10. I mean, it is fantastic. And we've got him in a good bargain as well. For me, he's bargain of the season.
Yeah, I mean, I think Harry Kane will. Harry Kane? Where did that come from?
Who's
Where did Harry Kane come from? I don't know what made me think of Harry Kane. I think I've been saying Maddison's going to be the absolute signing of the whole window, but I'm starting to think it is going to be Vicario, because he's going to be at our club for years to come. He looks so solid. He's a proper sweeper keeper if needed. It's like having another defender as well as a keeper. He's just different gravy. And for me, without a shadow of a doubt, he's been the best keeper in the league so far this season. Better than Alisson, better than anyone. He's just been fantastic.
And you, Jim, what's your reckon on Vicario? I mean,
me
and Philip call him the new Pat Jennings. Would you agree with Philip with that?
I just absolutely love him. You know, when he done that flap yesterday, it gave me a bit of a flutter, because it's really the first thing he's done wrong in that shirt. And then after that, it was just like he never done it. This is what I like about him, right? If he does do something that's not how it should be, he doesn't dwell on it. It's gone in a second, you know, and he's back to the keeper we know he is. He is an absolute steal at 17 million. Oh my God. When you think what goalkeepers are going for, I mean, they wanted 30 odd for Raya. Raya can't lace his boots. I'm sorry, he can't.
No, I agree.
See what he did at the end of the match as well. He got the back four and himself in a huddle. To celebrate the clean sheet, which is great to see. That the passion he shows is absolutely brilliant,
and he's vocal as well. Sorry, Dermot. He's really vocal.
Yeah, I agree with you, Kate. I mean, look, guys, look, Philip, look, you've seen the great Pat Jennings play. I think you have as well, Jim, as well. You've seen the great man. Where would Vicario rate on the Pat Jennings ladder?
I mean, he's only young. He's only 27, right? That's not young, but he's it's youngish for a goalkeeper. give him another couple of seasons at Spurs and keeps on the way he's doing, right? He will. I mean, to my mind, Pat Jennings is still the number one. He's untouchable just at the moment.
Yeah.
But Vicario keeps this up. He's moving up that goalkeeping chart rapidly. And I think he'll become a legend for us.
I mean, Kate will tell you this. Before we got a goalkeeper in, I was screaming for this guy. And I said to Kate, he's going to be one of the best goalkeepers in the Premier League if we get him. And that was before we ever got him. So I knew how good he was. But you can't compare him to some of our older keepers now because he's only been here a short while. We've got to give him a season, two seasons.
Give him a while.
Yeah, because you're talking about proper Spurs legends there.
Ray Clements and Eric Thorfinn, like that.
Yeah. I mean, Kate, where do you go with the goalkeepers now? Who was your favourite goalkeepers growing up? And do you rate him the same as Pat Jennings, or where do you rate him as?
I think it's too early, like Jim said, to start comparing him to someone like Jennings because he was just different gravy. I always loved Eric the Viking. I thought he was brilliant.
Yeah.
I just loved him. He was such a character. I liked him. I liked most of our keepers really, like that were decent. Robinson was all right. Obviously, I didn't like that Gomez we had. He was useless. I liked Cudicini when he came in. We've had some decent keepers, but this guy certainly is giving me the feels that he could be a real Tottenham legend if he carries on going the way he's going.
He's going to be one of the best goalkeepers in this league, I think, by a country mile.
Yeah.
I really do.
Yeah.
I mean, all you ever hear about is Allison and what do you call him? Edison, you know, the Liverpool and City goalkeepers. But no, I think this guy has got it now, and like he's come in. Apparently, he speaks very good English as well, which is also a help. You know, which I thought might be a problem, but no, he speaks good English, and he's a lot more vocal than Hugo Lloris, an awful lot more vocal.
Yeah,
you know, he lets the boys have it when they need it, and you know, you can see him clapping the hands and pointing to concentrate and all that. So I mean, I think he's top of the clean sheet chart now. I think after last night. So
is he?
I think so. He's had a joint top. I'm not quite sure which. But
I think he's had more clean sheets than Raya, but Arsenal have actually got more clean sheets than Spurs. I think that's the stats.
Well, between the two keepers, I suppose.
Yeah.
They've used two keepers. Yeah, we've only used the one. Yeah. I mean, Dermot's on about us buying Bazuma from Southampton, the Irish lad.
Yeah.
But I can't see him ever coming to Spurs to sit on the bench. Which he would do. I think I'm happy enough with Foster as a backup until such time as we do get someone younger. But
that's why I said that, Philip. I said the same thing. I got slaughtered for saying it, but I said that.
I think Foster's a good deputy. I know he's not as good as Vicario, no doubt. But for the few times he's going to be called on, I think he'll do okay. Okay, he played against Fulham in the League Cup and we lost, but there was 9 changes that night, so you can't totally blame him. So,
see, that's older heads thinking there, Kate.
Yeah, but he was useless at penalties. He just didn't. It took him half hour to get down for the penalty. I can't bear him. I can't bear him at all. I think it's awful that we've still got him in our team.
We'll beg to differ on that one then.
Yeah, I just think he's not good enough.
He's not going to be used that much anyway. Unless Vicario gets injured.
Yeah, let's hope not.
Big up to Ian Barron as well. We've got Tequila says Ian Walker, best ever.
Oh yeah, with his curtain.
I liked Ian Walker, in the final on the penalties.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we've got some great keepers over the years, guys. Well, let's crack on with it. Let's get on to this one. I think we'll start here. Yesterday's match, there was a load of referee, and the referee yesterday was diabolical, in my opinion. I thought he wasn't good at all. VAR again took so long to make decisions. So, Philip, I'll start with you. Refereeing standards, have they reached a new low, in your opinion? You're very critical of your referees and VAR this season. So, where are you standing on it now after that game last night, and after the refereeing so far this weekend? Big up to Stephen Hooper, by the way, in a very difficult situation at the Luton Bournemouth game. I thought he handled it absolutely perfectly. So I want to give a massive up to Hooper as well. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah. No. Okay. I'm not. Don't take this as an excuse for Spurs ever losing matches by blaming a referee. I'm not doing that. But I think if you look at the stats for last night, Nottingham Forest fouled us maybe 2-3 times. The number of fouls was at least double what we fouled them. Yet we were the ones who were getting booked all the time. If you saw in the first 2 minutes, Sonny was stamped on, kicked about 6 times in the first couple of minutes. Nothing done. Your man Yates, that was involved in the Bissouma or the Bodoji yellow card. He had 6 fouls during that game, right? And also twice he went like that, brandishing the imaginary card, which is an automatic booking. He didn't get booked, right? Now, so the referee was. Now I'm just at the scene tonight now that Mario Silva, the Fulham manager, is after complaining bitterly about the referee of the Newcastle game today, saying, "I'll read this out. The referee didn't give us 1 foul. For Newcastle, it was a free kick every time." That was like last night. Well, not last night. The bookings were like last night. He's now going to be hearing from the FA after slamming the ref in the post-match rant. Now, this referee at Newcastle today was, what's his name? It's one I haven't really heard of before. Barrett. Samuel Barrett. Right?
Yeah.
So the standard of refereeing this season in the Premiership is the worst I have ever seen. I can remember the days when referees were on the pitch and you barely know they were there. Now they seem to have to be the stars of the show. And what they're doing, in my opinion, they're relying far, far too much on VAR. They're scared to make a big decision in case they get it wrong. So they're saying they're letting it go and then let VAR pull them up on it. And that is ruining the game. In my opinion, to get the refereeing standards back, get rid of VAR completely. Then we might get decent referees back again.
Kate, where do you stand on it? Where do you stand in the refereeing and VAR? Are you for VAR? Do you think there could be improvements? Or are you with Philip that we need to get rid of it? Go back to how it was. It wasn't broken. So why try to change something that really wasn't broken?
I agree. Refereeing is the worst it's ever been. I think it's just awful. But I think a lot of that is because the refs, we don't know what the rules are. And I don't think the refs really know what the rules are anymore because they change them every 5 minutes. There was in the City game earlier, the City keeper was handling the ball outside the goal area, but they reckon it wasn't denying a goal scoring opportunity. So it wasn't a sending off. I mean, as far as I knew, if a keeper had, it was so blatant. It was unbelievable. But Palace fans today were crying, saying they had 2 VAR decisions go against them. City should have had a red card. You don't hear of a game now where there's not a controversy. It's worse than it's ever been. As far as I'm concerned, I would scrap VAR and just use that technology they used in the World Cup because that seemed to work, and spend some money on getting some bloody decent referees in because they're appalling at the minute. They're just getting worse year on year, just absolutely terrible. And VAR, I mean, they checked that offside. What was the goal they checked? Was it in our game? Yeah. And the play, we all went
5 minutes.
Yeah, and every group I'm in, they all went, well, he's clearly offside. And I was like, well, yeah, if it takes more than 10 seconds, something's wrong. I mean, if you can see it with the eye, it's not like, I don't understand it. It's one of my real bugbears, but at the end of the day, they've spent a fortune on VAR. They're never going to get rid of it. I just hope that they try their best to improve it because it isn't working.
No. I mean, we looked at that yesterday, guys. Me and Philip both said there was 4 players offside.
Well,
You could take your pick.
It looked to me as Michael Oliver was looking for a reason to give the goal, not to disallow it. That's why it took so long.
Yeah,
I said that to Kate at the time.
Look, Jim, do you agree with Kate that, and do you agree with Philip that VAR needs to go? Look, I agree with Kate. We need to use the system they used in the World Cup and they use in the European Champions League as well. Because for me, if you see a player offside, they bring it up to 3D and it's done within a couple of seconds. The computer does it for you. So do we need to go down the sort of AI route instead of leaving it to humans to do it?
I think though, I think all the common sense has gone out of it, right? I'll give you, for instance, like the Liverpool game when they scored that goal that was onside, right? They realised after that it was onside, only like half a minute, but because we'd kicked off, they couldn't do anything. Now, to me, that's pathetic. They should have stopped the game.
Yeah.
Said we've made a mistake, it was a goal, and give them the goal. But they're scared to do anything now. There's no all the common sense has gone out of the game. Right? The referees are absolutely petrified of making a mistake because of VAR. Because VAR, with all these lines, and if they make a mistake and it's like quite a bad one, you know, they get into all this trouble and they get suspended and lose their job for 3 weeks, and it's just ridiculous now. It is. It's pathetic. I just.
Jim, go on. Sorry. Go on.
No, go on, Philip.
No, I was going to say you made the point of losing their job for 3 weeks. Do you remember? Was it the what game was it? It was Newcastle versus Liverpool. Well, anyway, some referee made a balls up of a VAR decision. Right, he was stood down for a week. Right, but what game did they give him when he came back? Chelsea versus Liverpool. Where's the punishment there?
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, but the thing is when before there was VAR, right? They made mistakes, but we spoke about it for that weekend, and then the next weekend it was never spoke about.
Yeah.
And now, you know, it just goes on and on and on. And when you look at when you watch the interviews, there's a quarter of the intervals talking about referees and VARs now. You know, it's just to me, it's just pathetic.
Yeah, I mean, sorry, Jim. Sorry, I don't mean to cut you up. Sorry.
It took a big sting out of the game. You know, it's like the celebrating. Another thing.
You can't celebrate because you go, oh, hang on, I better wait a couple of minutes. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, look, we can remember back in the day we were arguing in the pub, or for me, like in this classroom at school, that wasn't offside, that was offside. And she said you'd be forgotten about. And then the next week, it made it more fun for me. It made it more fun. It was all about, that's what football was all about, opinions. For me, VAR has made it too political. Football's now too political. It's not sport anymore. And Philip, and you're right. I mean, VAR needs to go. I agree with Kate 100%. It needs to go. Football's too fast for VAR. Rugby, you can use it in rugby. That's, you know, I think it's a sport you can use it in. Football is not the sport. And look, for me, I think it's ruining the game. It's ruining. But
you know what I don't understand, Dermot? I don't understand. You don't get all this ooh-ah in rugby.
No, you don't.
No.
There's no in rugby. The decisions are made and everybody accepts them, and they're good decisions. But in football, they seem to make loads of mistakes with it. I don't understand it. Honestly, I don't.
Me and Philip did loads of rugby watch-alongs in the World Cup, didn't we, Philip? And we were actually looking at it in amazement how well TMO works. And you're looking at it, you're thinking, seriously, it's not hard to use. What do you call it, Philip? It's what do you call people that use VAR?
The TMOs. I think they call them TMOs. But but the thing about the rugby and football is the players in rugby actually seem to respect the referee. Yeah. And it's only the captain of the team that can talk to the ref, which rules out an awful lot of this, you know, surrounding the referee and querying decisions. Yeah. If you do that, you get a yellow card in rugby. So, you know, that's the way it is. But it's a much better system, and it's accepted by the fans. You know, you very rarely hear of a rugby decision being queried, whereas in VAR, every single one gets queried.
The thing is, as well, if in my opinion, VARs open up the door to football becoming even more corrupt. Yeah. Because when you see some of the decisions, there's no. I mean, I know the Liverpool one's a bad example because that was just miscommunication, but something like that. It was so clear and obvious that it was a goal. I mean, if that was Tottenham that had gone against, I'd be absolutely devastated. But they do talk like people are screaming corruption. And if you look now, since that Liverpool decision, very rarely since then a VAR decision's gone against Liverpool because they've kicked up such a stink about it. So, you know, it's meant to have been only for clear and obvious errors, but it's being used for every single decision. And it's like they're trying to find ways to cancel out goals. And it's sanitizing the game, and it's awful.
I think we all said after that Liverpool thing with Tottenham that Liverpool would never get a VAR decision against them the rest of the season. And that looks to be the way it's panning out now.
I mean, during that game yesterday, you spotted it, Philip. There was a chance we should have been given advantage, and the referee pulled it back. And it was what happened against Man City the week before, where Man City should have got the advantage.
We were 2 against 1. We were 2 against 1, and he pulled it back. You know?
Do you think referees now are under too much pressure? I'll start with you with this, Kate, then I'll go around the houses on this. Do you think
I'm just going to relocate. My battery's about to go dead. I didn't realize. I'll be back in a sec. Okay.
He's going to look for more Strictly Come Dancing. That's what he's going to go and look for. He's going to get his paddles up. Go 7. That's what he's looking for. Kate, do you think referees are so much more under pressure than they used to be?
I do, in a way, because there was that referee. I don't know if it was abroad where they. Yeah, it was Jose Mourinho. I think he slagged off the ref, didn't he? And the referee got chased out of the car park. People were trying to beat him up, and and like Jim said, it's a case where they can lose their livelihood.
Yeah.
They're absolutely annihilated on Talk Sport or Sky Sports if they make a mistake. It's like they've committed a murder if a referee makes a mistake. And for the money they earn, I know they do earn reasonable money, but they don't earn enough to warrant that, in my opinion. I mean, it was meant to be an instant booking if they surrounded the ref, but that's not happened. I mean, I saw a player the other day, the language they were using towards the ref was appalling. And I think, how are fans meant to respect the ref when the players talk to them like that? So, yeah, for me, they're under more pressure than ever. And at the end of the day, I kind of feel sorry for them, because if they make the correct decision, then I go and told to look at the monitor and they've got someone in their ear saying, look, I really, because, we don't know what they're saying in their ear, but they're swaying them in that decision. They change their mind and it turns out they're wrong. They're the ones that get the backlash. So, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't want to be a referee, not in a million years. And I don't know where my husband's gone. He's hiding.
That's what I was wondering. He was there 1 minute. He's playing peekaboo with us. That's what he's doing. He's playing peekaboo. He's going to come up in a minute dressed as a referee and give me a yellow card. But he's going to look at the VAR. That's what he's done.
I think so.
He's going to look at. Phillips moved rooms. He's seen the VAR as if Phillips committed a foul for moving rooms.
He's just had to restart his laptop because it was sticking.
All right. Okay.
I'll be back in a minute.
Listen, I'm really enjoying you two on tonight. Really am having a blast. So thank you so much for coming on again. Really appreciate it. Does the Premier League, I put a vote in the chat, does the Premier League need to get rid of VAR? 60% say yes, 40% say no. So it's a bit tight. It's a bit even. So I'm going to keep that going to near the end of the stream. And then when we nearly finish, I will press and we'll let you know. So does the Premier League need to get rid of VAR? Let us know what you guys think. It's okay, we're talking. These shows are about you, the people that watch us. You take the show where you want us to go. And that includes Philip doing the cha-cha and the and some other, and that Italian dance where it's really serious. And what do you call that dance?
Tango.
The tango. Yeah.
That's Argentinian, Dermot. It's Argentinian.
Yeah. Well, Mia does that with Romero every evening. She does the tango, probably in the dungeon.
Don't start her off. She'll be back in a minute now with another comment about that.
But Philip, look, Pablo, and then we've got a question then. I started a question from 2 questions, one for Spurs GCTV and then one from Daniela as well. So I'm going to get to them guys next. Paul Pablo says here, Philip, referees should be made to come in front of cameras like managers do. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I in theory, yes. But in practice, no, I don't think it'd be a good idea.
No.
Because the referee would say something which would be misconstrued, taken up the wrong way, and he'd be accused of being biased against a certain team. And no, I don't think it's a good idea. I think no, I'm not saying it's not a good idea, but I don't think it'll ever happen. I think for lots of reasons, But I think the refereeing thing is VAR could be a great system if everybody used it the correct way and everybody had we're singing from the same hymn sheet, basically. But every referee is on VAR seems to have a different interpretation of it, and that's what's causing the problem. But you get away with 1 week, you're red carded for the next, and that's what's causing so much of the anxiety and the controversy about VAR. If they got rid of that, if they train people properly, it might be a good system, but not going to happen.
Where are you guys on sin bins, Kate? Very quickly, where are you on that?
First of all, I just want to say I don't think referees should have to come out and talk to the cameras because managers get paid millions, referees don't. So that's my thing on that. I don't really like the idea of a sin bin either. I just think there should be a time limit on a VAR decision. And if it takes more than sort of 30 seconds to a minute, then it isn't clear and obvious. So they go with the referee's decision. That's my way of sorting it out.
Yeah. Philip, where are you on sin bins? Yay or nay?
Oh, no, I'm totally against them. For a number of reasons. One, you put a player in a sin bin for 10 minutes, right? He comes, let's say in a cold winter's evening, he comes back on, the first thing he does, his hamstring goes.
Yeah.
Unless he has the time to warm up before he comes back on again. So no, it's totally unworkable.
That's another thing with VAR. They keep there was that massive gap before Van der Ven his injury because his muscle was falling down. Then he sprints up the pitch and does his hamstring. It's a joke.
Yeah, it is. It really is. Spurs GTV, big up question. It says, do you think the rules have become too complicated? Oh, hell, they have. Open to too much interpretation rather than decisive yes or no rulings. Philip, I'll give you first in this, and then Kate, I get you to answer it. Do you agree with Spurs TV that the rules too complicated?
I think the rules that were set out 100 years ago should have been left the way they are, primarily, mostly. Like, does anybody know now what's handball and what isn't? Like, what was handball 2 seasons ago is now not handball. I don't know what handball constitutes now. My thing on handball is, if it hits your hand at all, it's a penalty. Do away with it. Did it bounce off your knee or did it bounce off your shoulder or whatever? If you handle it, it's a penalty. But that seems to have gone by the board, and I really don't understand what's handball anymore. So the rules, if they keep changing the rules, people are not going to keep up with it and not going to understand it. And that causes confusion then whenever a decision is given. Why was that given? Oh, the new rule is in. I didn't know anything about that. Oh, here, hang on, I missed those. What?
She's in. She's back in again. I tell you one thing, Mia. I tell you, Mia, you are a diamond. You really are. But you don't have put me in some sticky situations.
She can be a rough diamond now with some of them comments, you know.
Yeah, big up to you, Mia. Kate, where are you? Do you agree with Philip on this, that the rules are too complicated?
Yeah, a bit. I mean, my view, like with handball, is I always thought if it was hand to ball, it's a handball, and if it's ball to hand, it's not. And I thought that worked. But football's such an easy game. I mean, you go one end to the other, and you score goals. And you know there are things like offsides, but you've got other rules like the foul throw, and yet they very rarely blow up for a foul throw. 1 in every 10, maybe. But yeah, I mean, they said that this year they're going to use thicker lines to decide if they're offside or not. It's just mad. Let the game flow, for God's sake.
Wasn't there one game we didn't even draw the line correctly?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, and the VAR people that were doing the Liverpool-Tottenham game, they only came back from, where was it, the Saudi Pro League?
Dubai, yeah.
24 hours
beforehand, yeah.
So that's another thing. Welcome back, Jim.
Yeah, nice to join. Nice of you to join us, love.
I lost you all your screens went blank.
All right, we'll let you off.
Wow.
Yeah, it's Arsene Wenger. It's Lego Man. He's at it again. He's got into my computer. Lego Man, get away. What do you think? Look, do you think the rules are too complicated, Jim?
Well, I think that they could be made so much easier. They said at the beginning of the season, they were talking before the season kicked off that the whole body was going to have to be offside for it to be offside. That if there was a foot behind the player, he was going to be onside. So that would have made it easy, right? But they didn't bring that in. I just think I don't understand why they keep trying to find an inch offside. You know, it's meant to be an exciting game with lots of goals. We want to see lots of goals. And to me, it looks like they try and find a reason to stop the goals. You know, it's just I don't know. I can't get my head around it. The way it's run when it could be run so much easier. It's like they want to make it complicated.
Yeah. Ellie, he's making a comeback in about a week and a half's time. The wee little donkey. He's making his comeback. And then we don't know what happens to him after Christmas Eve, after the poor little donkey goes to Bethlehem, never to be heard of again.
Yeah, let me ask Philip a question. Philip, how long have you been watching football?
Since about
110 years.
Oh, God. Over 53, 54 years.
Yeah, I'm the same, right? Do you understand the rules of football now?
No, I was just saying it to Kate. I don't. I mean, I used to when it was very simple. When you had one referee, 2 linesmen on the ball. Now you've got one referee, three officials, 4th official, 3 on VAR, 2 making the tee. You know, it's just got too complicated now.
Yeah.
And I honestly think a lot of these referees don't know the rules. Never mind us. You know,
Do you know
it used to be so. Sorry, Kate.
And I was going to say, the funny thing is, they said on Sky the other day they're just going to go and check with the senior match official. And the guy on Sky, the commentator, I think it's Gary Neville, said, I didn't even know there was such a thing. So you've got a ref, then you've got a senior ref that's not on the pitch as well. So it's someone else. Is it jobs for the boys or what?
Yeah. And then you've got an assessor sitting in the stand assessing what the referee is doing. We never seem to hear what scores referees get for the games either.
No.
You know?
Because I haven't got a clue what the rules are anymore.
No, you don't. I mean, look, I want to ask you two a question. I always ask Philip because I love back in the day, right? And me and Kate we can look E80s. You know, we're massive fans. Tackles going in. 54 years, like for yourselves, guys, watching the game. How do you ever get to a point now where you get disinterested in football to see where it's going to what we used to watch back in the day?
I did last season.
Yeah, I know you did.
Last season was the worst season of my Spurs career because of what Conte did to our club. And the low point of it was, Dermot, you well know, was the AC Milan game in March. I came away from that game not really caring if I ever saw Spurs playing again. You know, and that's not me. So, you know, it's now that we've got our team back, I'm really, really enjoying it now. But, you know, sorry, David, just give me the question again. I was just I was distracted by something there.
Yeah, you did what I did in the day. You know, you've been watching football for 54 years. Is this the worst you've sort of seen the game? Do you miss the game for what it used to be like back in the day to what it is now? Do you wish?
Well, I'll tell you what I don't miss. What I don't miss. I don't miss the crappy pitches, the sandy pitches, with the ball that you couldn't get a true bounce on the ball. It wouldn't run straight. I don't miss the heavy boots the players wore and that sort of stuff. But you miss the. It's now become a non-contact sport like basketball. I mean, look at the booking Odoji got last night. That was he barely touched your man and got booked for it. Back in the day, that wouldn't even been looked at, thought about. You know, so I think it's got a wee bit too namby-pamby. You can't even look at a goalkeeper now without a free kick being given. Whereas in the old day, Bobby Smith used to barge him into the back of the net, no questions asked.
Yeah.
You know? So it's got too sanitized.
What about you, Jim and Kate? I mean, do you miss the old Tottenham, the old back in the days, or do you like this new sort of brand of football we're seeing now? Or do you think, I miss the 80s or the 70s?
Philip just answered exactly the way I would have answered. I don't miss the pitches and the heavy balls and the boots, but I miss the strength of the game. You know, it used to be a real man's game, but it's not now. You know, they touch them and they roll on the floor 6 times. All right, and when the ref plays on, he looks up, sees no one's looking, then gets up. You know, when it's a joke now. I mean, they spend half the players spend more time on the floor than standing up.
Can you imagine Norman Hunter, Billy Bremner, and Dave Mackay, Tommy Smith, the likes of them playing in the league today? How many matches have you been suspended for? Not how many matches have you played?
Yeah,
that's the way it would be with them boys.
Graham Souness as well.
Huh?
You've got
Graham
Souness as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, there's loads of them. Loads of them.
Who is your favourite player back in the day, Kate? Who is your Spurs idol back in the
Gary
day?
Mabbott.
Really?
Always. Yeah, I love him. I just adore the man. Everything about him is the way he played, the fact he was such a good leader, the fact he was a warrior. When I just loved him, and he's such a nice man. So it was always Gary Mabbott for me.
Jim, for you, who is your? I know who Phillips is, but Jim's, who was yours?
Mickey Hazard.
Yeah,
I love Mickey Hazard.
Yeah,
that's
in them days, they had cut. I mean, how many times did we see Mabbott with a bandage around his head?
Loads.
You know, where he jumped up, got a cut his head. They stuck a bandage on, and he went back out there and played on. You know,
but Justin Fashanu did
Mabbott played with a broken wrist, or
I think something like that. Yeah,
didn't Justin Fashanu, John Fashanu, or Justin Fashanu did a job on them as well one time? Do you remember?
Yeah,
broke his teeth or something. Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah.
Who was yours? I know yours is Jimmy Greaves, Philip.
Jimmy Greaves.
I know. Yeah. Look, you've had Mickey Hazard on your channel. We've had him on our channel, and I loved him. He was my favourite player. He was my Spurs idol growing up. I said to him when I talked to him, I cried when you left, and I cried when you come back, because he was Glenn Hoddle's apprentice to me. He was the man to take over from Glenn Hoddle, and the club made such a stupid move selling him. If we had him, I think he would have been the next Glenn Hoddle at Tottenham, Mickey Hazard. I really do. I honestly really do.
Jim actually rates Mickey Hazard more than Glenn Hoddle, don't you, Jimbo?
Yeah, I liked him better than Glenn Hoddle.
Do you know what? I can understand that. I can see that. Look,
Yeah,
Glenn Hoddle was a genius, but I think Mickey Hazard was more
he was
down
silk.
to earth. If you know what I mean.
He didn't want to leave Dermot. You know that,
No,
didn't
I
you?
know
You know
that. I know that.
they pushed him out the door.
Yeah, it broke his heart to leave.
Yeah, he said it on our show. It was his biggest regret. He wished that he could have played just with Spurs till the end. But what a lovely man he is, Mickey Hazard.
And I tell you one thing, like Graham Roberts, Mickey Hazard, Garrett Stick. We've had Steve Perriman on here a few times as well. All them legends always give Tottenham channels. They always give their time. They give they always say, yeah, no problem, go and do it. Never a no from them. So I tip my hat up. We had what's his name, Philip? The journalist as well.
Norman Giller
as well. We had him on one podcast. I tell you one thing, he is one of the nicest men you'll ever wish to meet. The first thing he did as soon as we start the show was go straight into singing "Glory, Glory, Tottenham Hotspur."
Yeah.
And I tell you,
that was great.
Some of the stories he told, it was like Steve Perriman as well. It was like Mickey Hazard for me. It's the best storyteller going. It's some of the stories he told. It will crack you up, honest to God. But please go and rewatch that.
Blue.
Pardon?
He still bleeds blue.
Oh yeah, he does very much
yeah.
so, and works for the club as well and does everything.
Yeah.
But please get over and watch that on Kate's channel again and hit that another more likes and do it on ours as well. Absolutely,
I'll tell you what, you see the thing you just had up there.
Yeah.
The reffing standards. You should have left the R off of it.
Yeah, the effing standards.
We've got a few people here. Paul Pablo's going for Mickey Hazard like us, Jim. Rico's going for Martin Shivers.
He's gone for Hoddle.
He's saying he's not fit to tie Hoddle's laces.
Sorry, Paul. Sorry, you got gone against me and Jim here. You're going to lose. So it's Mickey Hazard all the way. We've got Rico going Shivers.
Great player.
He's also going for Alan Ball, for a football legend. And I would agree with that.
Yeah, Alan Ball.
Who is your look very quickly though, guys? Who is your footballer? Forget Tottenham, but who is your footballing hero growing up? Who wants to start first?
That's a toughie.
Oh boy, that is a tough one.
What was the question?
Who is your footballing hero? Not Tottenham. So any player in the world from any era that you remember growing up, who did you have up on your wall? I'll start with mine. I'll go for Diego Maradona. I loved him.
Right.
As a kid growing up, I absolutely adored Maradona. I just loved the way he played. I wanted to play like him. I wanted to be like him. He never handled the ball in that game in '86. Philip tells me he did, but he didn't.
Of course he did.
I'm saying that with my tongue sticking out before anyone starts shouting and stuff at me.
Do you know what? When I was young, I always liked Ian Rush. I don't know why, but I did. And then as I got older, the first player I really became that wasn't Tottenham was obviously David Beckham.
Yeah.
For multiple reasons.
Not all to do with football.
Not all to do with
football. You, Jim?
I think probably Gordon Banks.
Yeah, that's a good show.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
I think Gordon Banks. I was always mesmerised how good he was.
Yeah.
In goal, he was like he was just like an octopus to me. I mean, he used to get into places in that goal to save shots you wouldn't think was possible.
Mm-hmm.
So I think probably if I say the one that really always stood out to me as a kid, it'd be Gordon Banks.
And that's in 1970.
Oh yeah,
well.
that's still the best save ever. I think that was.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going for Dermot.
I've got a real soft spot for Alan Shearer.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, he was great. I loved his attitude. I love his sort of. he didn't go, he was going to Man. He always said he regretted not going to United, but I think I admired him for sticking to his guns. I'm going to Newcastle. I'm going to my home team club. If I don't win, but I've played the number 9. I've taken that famous number, and I have a soft spot for Newcastle. Always have done since I've been up there loads of times. Been to St James's Park as well. The Newcastle people are lovely up there. They've got a heart of gold in that community. But I have a soft spot for Newcastle. But yeah, Alan Shearer, Philip, who's your?
I've never really thought about it too much, but there's one player that I always stood out for me, and he's a player that Glenn Hoddle actually probably finished his career during that UEFA Cup game against Feyenoord back in the day. It was Johan Cruyff.
Yeah.
He was a great, brilliant player.
Good choice.
Yeah. Ash, big up Ash. She's going for a Ronaldinho.
He's the greatest player I've ever seen play football.
Yeah.
You're a bit small, Ash.
Yeah.
He was incredible.
Ellie's going for Hoddle. What's the greatest? But I love Hazard too because he was a G2. We've got Georgie Best, of course, the greatest player ever to.
Yeah.
Why can he have not played for Ireland, Philip? Why can he have not played for us?
Because he was born. He was born the wrong side of the border. That's why.
I know.
I got to see him play live, Dermot, a few times.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so jealous of you, Jim.
Yeah.
I am so jealous. Did you ever see him play live, Philip?
I don't think I saw Georgie Best. No, I don't think I ever did. No. I only ever got to see Tottenham. See, when I was living in Birmingham, I only ever got to see Tottenham playing away at Villa, West Brom, Birmingham City, and Wolves. So I wouldn't have gone to see Man United playing anywhere. It's only later on I got down to White Hart Lane. So no, I never saw George Best.
What was he like to play, Jim? Watch Georgie Best play.
Say it again.
What was Georgie Best like to watch live?
Unbelievable. I mean, what a player he was. I mean, it's such a shame that he was his own downfall. But what a player!
Yeah.
I mean, if you're going to talk about best players in the world, he's got to be in the conversation every single time.
Oh yeah.
I love Bestie's comments when he was asked about his wages and all that. He said, "Well, I spend 75% of my wages on fast cars, wine, women, and song. The rest of it I wasted."
He was gorgeous as well back in the day.
He was the first superstar, wasn't he, of football?
Yeah.
Really, he was the first.
He was really, he was.
Chris says Maradona. I say that painfully as an England fan. Maradona for me was a genius. We've got Pele as well. We did have that going on for a while. Me and Ellie did a show a while ago. Me and Ellie went for Maradona. I forget who the other two were. One for Pele. We did who was the greatest South American, Pele or Maradona. Maradona, of course, won.
I could never pick Maradona just because of what he'd done to England. He's a piece of rubbish.
Well, I'm sorry. As an Irishman, I think he was a genius.
Ooh.
But mind you, I don't like Thierry Henry. He did the same thing to us, so I know what it feels like.
No, none of us like Thierry Henry. I think that's a given. That's a given anyway.
But I still think he never handled it. If you look at it now, it just comes off one of his hair, top of his head, just off there. He didn't. I mean, I want to ask you a question on this, right? And it's always bugged me, right? I've watched it so many times, right? Thanks, Kate.
Without your glasses, obviously.
Yeah, but I've watched it, right? Why didn't Pete and Chilton just whack him out of the way? Any goalkeeper would have just barred straight into him. You ain't getting past. I mean, why?
Yeah, that would have given him a penalty, though.
But wouldn't it be better than?
Still be a goal. He still score.
Well, you don't know. He might miss the penalty.
Well,
so let me ask you two a question. If England are in the World Cup, right, and Ireland get knocked out, would you want England to win it?
I'm going to say, go on, Dermot. You answer this first. Go on.
Look, if a Tottenham player is playing for England, yeah, I'll support the Tottenham player. I cannot look. I love football. I love all football, but when it comes to, it's a hard one for me. Philip knows where I stand on this. Can I plead the fifth?
No, stop sitting on the fence. Get the splinters out your bum. We want an answer.
Come on, Dermot.
I'm going to have to say no. That's me being honest.
Oh, my God.
Being honest.
I'm going to say, I wanted England to win the World Cup last time.
If
It was probably mainly because Harry Kane was in the team at the time. But I think it's time. It would be good for the game if England won something. It would boost the whole thing, boost the Premiership, get maybe more decent players coming in. And I'm not going to be. I'm going to put my nationalistic feelings behind me as regards football and say yes, I'd like England to win it.
I mean, when the World Cup's on, can I tell you, all the home nations, I support all of them. I want them all to go through.
Oh yeah,
I want them all to win.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't understand that you wouldn't want England to win if Ireland were out.
Jim, if you're tuned into the history here, you probably might get a better idea of why. I'll tell you what, it's hypocritical in a way, right?
It is.
Most Irish football fans, right? They spend a fortune going over to see Liverpool, Man United, Spurs, Arsenal every weekend, right? But when England are playing, they want them to lose. Now, where's the sense in that, really? But that's just the way it is.
It is hypocritical. Look, I'm related to Michael Collins, one of the greatest figures over in this country. The man, Philip knows, if you know Irish history, you know Michael Collins was a big man within that history, and I'm related to him. And look, I it's just because I've been brought up the way I've been brought up. I've worked in England. I've lived in England. Nothing against England. I support an English side, but I think when it comes to my national side, I'm very, how would you say it, Philip? I'm very
salty,
biased against the previous manager.
Bitter and twisted.
No,
jealous.
No, look, if England win the World Cup, I'll be the first one to say congratulations and well deserved. I'll be the first one to say it.
I just looked him up.
Yeah, I just couldn't support it. And that's me being honest. I'm not trying to offend anyone. I'm not trying to. Well, I do apologize, Kate. I'm very, very sorry. But look, it's just how I am. And I love football. I love watching. Look, if Champions League, I want the Premier League teams to do well. Of course I do. I don't want Arsenal to do well.
I differ from you there, Dermot. I differ from you there.
Well.
If I'm watching Manchester United or Liverpool in the Champions, I want them to get hammered.
No,
I don't want any English team to do well in Europe other than Spurs.
Well, this season I want them to do well because of the 5th place, to be fair.
Well, that's true. That's true. We'll be hypocritical again, won't we?
I think that's different. Because I never want to see any English team do well. But when it comes to the World Cup and the Euros, I want to see all our nation, Ireland, Wales, Scotland. I want to see them all go through and do well. I can't
but
help it.
we always know that Ireland and Scotland ain't going to do anything because they're rubbish. Let's be fair.
That's true.
Look, to be fair, I've been moaning for the last 3 years about our manager, so I know how that feels. You want to try Stephen Kenny in charge. I mean, going to watch his games is like going to watch a slow death.
Don't mention Stephen Kenny; you'll set him off.
Yeah. But look, I don't mean to offend anyone by what I said. It's just me being honest, and it's a great question, Jim, but it's just me being honest, and I don't mean to offend anyone by my honesty. So if I have, I apologize. But I'm not going to change.
Should have got you some vinegar for Christmas, Derm, to go with all that salt.
Yeah, should have done. Oh, by the way, you need to WhatsApp me about the thing for Mia. I'll sort that out next week. By the way, good question, Jim. Good, that is a good question. I'm going to ring you up for more questions then for the next podcast.
I mean, if Ireland won the Euros or the World Cup, I would be I'd be celebrating like it was England.
You'd also be dreaming, darling, because it'd never happen.
That's what I was just about to say.
Scotland, not so much. I don't know why, but Scotland, not so much. But if they won it, I wouldn't be unhappy for them.
I tell you what, if Ireland ever won a major tournament, I think I would wake up in the middle of the night in sweat. Did I think that was a nightmare? Jesus. And imagine if Ireland play England in the final. that would be a tasty affair.
That'd be a good stream.
It would be a good stream.
Yeah.
We've got love the channel. Big up Rico. Spurs should have never sold Kane. Exactly. Smash the likes, says Kate, on both channels, please. Unless it was 15-16 Premier League, I wasn't bothered who won between Leicester and Spurs, as I don't dislike either. Look, I do a lot of streams for Bobby and Colin, both Man United and Arsenal fans, and they're the most. Look, I have a great time with them guys. There's a lot. I love the banter. That's what I love about football. if Ireland are playing England, I just love the banter because I would say like, oh, it's taking you. You couldn't beat us under Big Jack when we had Big Jack in charge. You could never beat the Irish, and there's always that sort of. I love the banter of it. I always do. I love the football banter. But, yeah, great question. And
funny thing is though, Derm, Irish fans trying to banter English is like Newport County fans trying to banter Man City, isn't it? Really?
Yeah. But actually, there is a song. Is "You Never Beat the Irish." I mean, I watched one video once, right, and there was a group of Irish fans and English fans that were together, right, in the middle of a train in France somewhere, and they were serenaded this baby, right. The Irish fans were singing something like a lullaby, and the English fans were singing something from Lady Gaga. It was the most funniest bit of video I have seen in my life, and I'm just thinking that's what football's all about.
Yeah,
fans mixing, having a laugh, having a joke, having a crack, and enjoying themselves. That's what football's all about.
But that's not allowed anymore, really. I mean, when did you ever see Arsenal fans sitting among the Spurs fans or United fans sitting among Liverpool fans? The police know what would happen, so it just doesn't happen. Yeah. Whereas over here, in our national sport, Gaelic football, when you buy your ticket, you're probably sitting next to an opposition fan in the seat next to you. There's no problem there.
Don't start talking about GAA, Philip. Don't do that.
No, but I'm just saying.
You know full well Mayo haven't won it.
The fan rivalry is allowed in here because they know there's going to be no trouble.
You know full well Mayo haven't won it since 1951. So please start robbing in.
I listened to a podcast about that the other night, actually. Very interesting.
Yeah? Are they going to win it next year?
No.
No, of course they're not.
Listen, Philip, it's the same in America. I mean, I lived in America for a good few years. And if you go to a basketball game, you're mixed in. If you go to an American football game, you're all mixed in. There's never no fights or, you know, you might have people having a bit of banter, but it's just like a day out.
Yeah, that's it. That's the way it should be too, you know.
Listen, guys, with the European Championships next year coming up, and England qualifying, and I just want to know what your thoughts on that, and Scotland as well. They're talking about it being a dry tournament, no booze around the stadium like they had in the World Cup. Kate, do you think that would work? Because it's in Germany, and we know history sort of precedes itself, doesn't it, with these rival fans? Do you think that would work, a dry tournament, or do you think it's a non-starter?
I don't think it makes any difference because people would just get drunk before they go there or sneak it into water bottles, like Jim used to do back in the day. Take a bottle of water that's full of vodka and lemonade or whatever. So I don't think it makes any difference whether they're drunk, whether they're sober. If they're there to cause trouble, they're going to cause trouble.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I don't.
Yeah. Where do you guys sit in that? Where do you sit in it, Philip and Jim?
Well, go on, Philip. No,
go ahead.
In the World Cup, it was no alcohol, and it worked there. So,
yeah,
I think the problem is there's a hell of a difference between Qatar and Germany. Germany have a drinking culture, a very big drinking culture, whereas in Qatar, if you caught drinking, they cut your hands off. So I don't think that's going to happen. That's why I don't think a drinks ban would work in Germany. I don't think so. You know,
that's what happens to me.
Okay, What did you do, Kate?
Sorry, I couldn't resist having a beer.
You smuggled a bottle of Baileys into a match.
Okay, fair enough. Poor old Kate. Oh, bless. Philip should have been there. Philip would have been your solicitor. He would have got you off.
Yeah.
I remember going to an Irish match in Moscow about 20 years ago. And one of the lads had a bottle of Baileys with him. He foolishly thought he'd get it into the ground, you know. So the guy at the door stopped him and took the bottle of Baileys. I have this for you when you come out. He never saw his bottle of Baileys again, that's for sure.
There was a funny story years ago, right, in Italian 90. And we qualified for the World Cup for the first time. And when you got off the boat, they were putting pens for the Italian police to separate the fans and then put them on the coaches to go to where they were playing. So you got the English fans in one, the Dutch fans in another, forget who else, Egypt fans in one, and the Irish fans in one. Now remember, this is a hot day. People are thirsty. People are tired. They want to go to the hotels, get a shower. So they're doing all the fans, and the Italian police hear these sheep noises, and they can't think where it's coming from. It's the Irish fans in the bottom pen all got together, shoulder to shoulder, going meh.
Yeah.
Meh.
That happened in Moscow as well. That happened in Moscow at the same game. The Russian police didn't know where the noise was coming from. Yeah.
Yeah, we are lunatics. Yeah,
we are.
Now, guys, we've got one more thing to go, and then we've got two more subjects to go. Very sad scenes today at Bournemouth with Luton captain as well. And listen, firstly, we wish him a speedy recovery from his heart attack. We also wish him, hope he, and Luton Town as well. Big up to the referee for handling the situation, and the fans as well deserve massive credit for the way that they behaved and the way they respected the players and everything. But guys, for bits of Romaro, we were doing Premier Saturday at the time, and they came out on Twitter saying that it was a head injury. Now we know it wasn't. Now we know it was a heart attack. He suffered cardiac arrest. So I'll start with you, Kate. Should the ITKs be more thoughtful about announcing situations like Tom Lockyer's cardiac arrest today?
Well, you only had to watch what happened at the game to know that it wasn't a head injury, because I saw it and it was horrendous. He just collapsed and landed on his face. So there was no one anywhere near him. So it was a ridiculous thing to tweet. For me, it should have just been the game's been stopped because there's a medical issue. And I don't think anything else needs to be revealed until the players in the hospital, the family's aware, and everything else. You know, we was watching it, not knowing what on earth was going on. But I said to Jim, obviously with his history as well, I said, I think it's probably a heart attack. But for me, it's so sad, but I cannot see him ever playing football again after this, with it being in such a short period of time. So it's so sad, but thank God he's okay and responsive. And I just hope he recovers fully, you know, whatever happens. But it's always terrible when you see a young player have to end their career. It always reminds me of Ryan Mason. So like I say, I just think maybe they need to, rather than just trying to get the news out there first, just you know, be a bit sensitive to the issue and leave it until there's a statement's properly released, when everybody knows what's going on, his family's aware and everything else.
Big up to Luton Dan as well. I agree with you 100%, Kate. Absolutely. He says, big up Kate and Jim and panel. Much love and hope all the good. Sad day for Luton today. Yeah, it is. Jim, look, I'm sure we all agree what Kate just said. But do you feel some of these in the nose, especially the big ones on Twitter, are trying, as I call it, clickbait? I want to get out there first. I want to get so people would like my tweet or my comment I've put on Twitter, or now X is called. Do you think something should be done now, or do you think, look, it is what it is?
I think it's very disrespectful. I think it's very disrespectful for journalists as well to surmise what's wrong with the guy, you know, without knowing. And I think everybody should just. I wouldn't dream of tweeting anything or putting anything on Facebook or, you know, it's just if you're a decent, normal person, you just wouldn't do it. It's just not. You wouldn't. It's not something that you would do. But me and Kate was watching that game when it happened. But we had half an idea what it was because of the history of the guy. And it's sad. It's sad that people need to get their 2 pence of him when they really don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah,
you know? Very sad.
And you, Philip, where are you on this? We were doing the show when it came up, and we both said at the same time, this is not right, didn't we? You, me, and Brad all said it. We said that's not right. You shouldn't be doing things like that. And has your respect for him gone down a little? Because he is a very massive person on Twitter, getting the news out. Has your respect for him gone down a little? Well,
it has, because I mean, it's clickbait, as you say. It's clickbait. It's getting clicks on his X site. That's all. That was done for. You know, I mean, I've seen some of the not just him now, but some of the headlines I've seen from other supposed in the nose, and you look at them and you say, "There's no way that's true." They'll put anything out there to get a click, and I think that was very disrespectful to Lockyer and Lockyer's family to put that out incorrectly. And it was so blatantly incorrect that one look at the TV screen would have told you it wasn't a head injury. And I think it's quite unprofessional. But then again, never let the truth get in the way of a good story. That's the way I look at it too.
Yeah,
you know?
that's true. Well, look, I agree with all what you said. There's nothing else I can actually add to that. I agree with everything what you said, but I'm very, very upset by the way he did it. And look, our thoughts and prayers are with the Luton players, the team, the fans, and their captain tonight. And we hope for a speedy recovery. But I think he's stable. The last I saw, he's stable. He's surrounded by his family. So look, good luck, and may God be with them. And you know, I would definitely say a prayer for him tonight, like we all will. We all want, when things like this in football, we're all one fans at the end of the day when it comes to this. Now, guys, last question. This, I know it's a little bit changed, but we can probably in, but this is the top 7 as it was before this weekend's round of matches. Question is, what order will the present top 6 be in at the end of the season? And then after that, when you give your prediction, then if you want to give your channel a plug. And thank you again, Jim and Kate, for coming on. I've loved this. I've loved every minute. This stream has flown by. It's been a bunch of giggles, and I've really enjoyed it. So
yeah, it's been great.
So what order would the present top 6 be in? Kate, ladies first. So what are you going for?
I am going for Liverpool, Arsenal, Man City, Aston Villa, Tottenham, Newcastle, and who have I missed?
No, that's
six.
It's Man United there as well.
And Man United in 7th. So yeah, Liverpool, Arsenal, City, Villa, Spurs, Newcastle, Man United.
Right. Jim,
sorry, Hotspur hippie.
Yeah, where are you going for, Jim? What's your top 7 then? Top 7 at the end of the season.
It's so hard because where have you got us in 5th?
That's the current standings,
yeah,
where they were.
The points are wrong, aren't they?
Yeah.
Just a guideline.
I was going to say, I got a bit panicky then. We've got more points than that. Do you know what? I still got so much faith in Tottenham. I have. I just think when we get some players back in and we buy a few, I'm gonna have to go. I think Liverpool are gonna nick it this year. I think Liverpool are gonna nick it. I'm gonna go Arsenal 2nd. I've got to go Spurs 3rd. Sorry, I have to.
Yeah.
All right, Spurs 3rd. I'm going to go Villa 4th.
Hang on, I think you're forgetting Manchester City, darling.
I haven't forgot them.
Okay.
I'm going to go Villa 4th, and I'm going to go Man City 5th.
See, me and Jim are on the same wavelength here. We're on the same thing about City here, because I've been saying it for weeks that the wheels have fallen off Man City's bus. I do believe that.
I don't think they're going to have a great season this.
No, I don't think so.
After the results they've had, I just don't think they're going to kick in like everyone thinks they're going to this year.
Yeah, I agree. So there you go. Big up, Jim.
I wanted to say Tottenham first. I so wanted to say it, but I thought don't.
Do you know what? I'm going to say Tottenham first just for you, Jim. I'm going to do it for you. The optimists.
Look at Philip. Look at Philip. Look.
I know. It's like Dave says, I mean, I've got called Deluded. I mean, I do have a house in Deludedville. I've got a lovely 3-bedroom house up there with a nice car in the drive. Dave lives next door to me. Jim lives just down the road as well. He's the optimist. I'm not calling it Deluded. It's the Optimist Village.
I'm ringing the men in white coats. I'm ringing the men in white coats.
Yeah.
Philip, just let me say, right? This is not out of the question, right? And look at Kate, look. Right? This is not out of the question.
Poor old Kate.
If we can get through this next 4 or 5 games, right, and do really well, we get our players back in the new year, Van der Ven and Madders, right? And we bring in 2 or 3 good players that slot in well. There's nothing saying that we couldn't nick it this year.
Absolutely. I quite agree. It's quite possible. Well, there's well, I'm putting mine up on the screen now, just so you can see them right rather than. Dermot knows what
Philip,
I'm
you've been
coming
watching
from on
football
this one.
for 50 odd years. You've seen some strange things happen, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm not saying it can't happen. Do you know something, Jim? I'm really scared to say it because I think if it doesn't happen, I'll blame myself for saying it. You know, that type of thing.
No.
You know. No, that's what I reckon the top 6 is going to be.
Boo.
I still think City are going to win it. Liverpool second, Arsenal third, we're fourth, Villa fifth, and Newcastle sixth.
Right. I'm going for look. I'm actually look. I agree. Look, being sensible now, I agree with Kate. Liverpool for the championship. I think Liverpool will win it this year. I'm going Spurs. I've always said it from the start of the preseason. Philip, you know I did. Tottenham will finish in the top 3. I said it from the very before even the season kicked off. I'm going for Liverpool, Man City, Tottenham, Villa, Arsenal, and then Man United. I think Arsenal are going to bottle it, and I think Arsenal are going to fall down.
I hope they do. I hope they absolutely
do. As quickly as they did coming up. Kate, there's super chat for you. Big up. Life is short for the Mile High Hotspur. Big up. Always let your loved ones feel love. Exactly. So big up to the Mile High Hotspur.
We love you, Leo.
Man.
Bigger. And also there is my man in here, my partner in crime on Dave's pre-match pump up. Him and me together. It's like I love doing stuff with it.
I've seen them. They're good shows. They're good shows.
And when me and Hotspur Hippie get together, it's like we bang off each other. It's like two optimists together. But big up, sir. Spurs #1, of course. Yeah. Look, I had to be a bit diplomatic, so don't think I'm with you and Jim. I'm with you and Jim, but I had to be diplomatic. Philip,
it's so hard for the words to come out of my mouth, right?
I know.
To put another team in front of us, I can never, no matter who we're playing, say that we're going to lose. It won't come out of my mouth.
No.
It won't come out.
Yeah.
I think we're going to win the FA Cup this year, actually.
Yeah, I think we will. I think we will.
I look at Kate.
I'll tell you one thing, though. We don't want to do what we did against Fulham in the Carlsberg Cup, or the Carls, whatever you call it. Play a full team against Burnley. Can't afford not to.
Yeah.
And I just want to say to Dan as well, he put a love. What did he put in there?
You can come out now, Kate.
I
said to Kate, when we played City, and we had that depleted team, right?
Yeah.
Kate was saying there's no way that we're going to lose to them. You know, there's no way we can beat them. And I said to her, F that, we're going to beat them. I don't care what anyone says. And we ended up with a draw. But I can't say we're going to lose.
Yeah.
The words won't come out.
I've just got to say one thing, and I don't want to be the voice of doom, but I don't actually think Ange will play our strongest team in the FA Cup. I said this on my...
I hope he does. I hope he does.
Because I think he will be looking at the league this year because of the shortage of players we've got with the African Cup of Nations, Sonny away, and I think he will just concentrate on the league. And I'm perfectly prepared for it, and it's fine, because I just don't think we've got the capability to do both. And so I don't think he will play a strong team. That's my opinion.
I think he will, because I've waiting on a massive update on news about the transfer window, and I know what I've been told. I can't say anything yet because I've had to promise I won't say anything. But let's put it this way: what I've been told happens, boy, oh boy, we will be dancing from the top of the roofs.
I think Dermot. I think we're going to get players in early. I don't think Ange will let it string out.
For what I'm hearing, it's looking that way, Jim. It's all I can say. Till I get the permission to say, yeah, you can say it. But I think you're bang on the money on that. I think you're absolutely bang on the money. Listen, that is the end of the Cockeral Clock podcast. Not a Carl Simpson insight to make me go wrong and call it something else, which it isn't. So there you go. So Carl, it's not the Cockeral podcast. It's the Cockeral Clock. So there you go. Kate and Jim, you've been absolute legends. The power couple of the Spurs community. I would say the Bobby Ewan and Pam out of Dallas. I say that's what I call you two.
Gone back a bit there, isn't it?
Philip is J.R. Ewan. He's got that sort of streak about him, and I'm just nobody. I'm not
Cliff
part.
Barnes.
You're Cliff Barnes.
Oh, why does everyone make me out to be the idiot? Seriously.
All right, Bungle. Sorry.
I paid you all lovely compliments. I get called Bungle George and Cliff Barnes. That's great, isn't it? Seriously.
I've got a clue who he is.
Yeah,
Who?
well,
Cliff Barnes.
He was in Dallas.
He was in Dallas.
Yeah,
JR's nemesis.
Yeah. It'd be Jimbo coming out the shower in the morning saying to Kate,
It was all a dream.
Hello. It was all the dream.
I'm not dead after all. How fun.
Can I tell you, I remember as a kid watching Dallas, right? And my parents loved Dallas, right? And we always used to go around. That was the weirdest season of any television show.
Yep.
The whole country shut down when Dallas was on. Everybody watched it.
I remember having the T-shirt, Who Shot JR? I remember as a kid wearing that T-shirt. Honest to God, it was great.
What year was this?
The 80s. Late 70s, 80s.
You were probably in America, Jim. You probably missed it. You were lucky.
Yeah, I don't even remember. I know what program it is, but I don't even remember being on TV.
Oh, Dallas was excellent.
Yeah.
So
No, actually, Philip is not JR. He's Granny out of the Beverly Hillbillies on top of the rocking horse in the car. That's who Philip is. Anyway, Kate, thank you two for coming on. Who wants to plug the channel? Because you've been legends. I've enjoyed this. So, Kate, do you want to give your channel a massive plug? And I'll put you on full screen there. So give a girl who just loves Spurs a massive plug. Go on.
Yeah, just a girl who loves Spurs. Starting from Monday, we've got a Christmas show, 12:45, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Wednesday is at 7 o'clock. And every day we've got a special recorded message from a Spurs legend. And it will be a football talk, some fun, just chilled out streams leading up to Christmas. And we might do a cheeky stream Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, because I know a few people spend Christmas on their own and we can't have that. So come on over to Just Girl Who Loves Spurs. I think I'm 13 away from 800, so if I can get there by Christmas Day, I'll be delighted.
Everyone, please do. And of course, you, me, Mr. Brady. We've got a few things. We've got the watch along tomorrow, matches Liverpool, Man United.
Sorry, I thought I was Granny. Sorry, I wasn't that responding to that. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, Granny. There you go, Granny up in the corner. He acts like Granny sometimes behind the scenes. Believe me, him and his pink M&Ms. We've got Newsbeat every day from 4 to 5 every day. Of course, the best show around at 4 o'clock. We've got loads of watch-alongs over Christmas, haven't we, Philip? We're sort of doing more because of people. As Kate says, there's a lot of people on their own at Christmas. And we feel we have a responsibility, like Kate does, to actually, so they're not on their own. So we've got loads of, we've got a premiere Saturday on St. Stephen's Day, which is Boxing Day in the UK. We've got loads of people. We've got
Premier Tuesday it is that week, then.
Oh, right, Premier Tuesday. And then we've got He does have to be diplomatic.
I have to be correct. Sorry, I'm very PC tonight, so just get your facts right.
Do you know what? I'll just get rid of him. That's better. That's better.
You'll find a horse's head in your bed now, Derm.
Do you know what? I've got 12 of them. I actually collect them. I've actually got them as ornaments all round under the Christmas tree. We've got that coming up. We've got watch-alongs galore coming up over Christmas. And
tomorrow, Liverpool v Man United tomorrow. Looking forward to that one.
We've got Newsbeat as well. We've got a few Christmas. And on Christmas Day at 3 o'clock, Philip will be giving his alternative to the King's speech on the BBC. It's going to be The Godfather Talks Christmas at 3 o'clock. Let's see who gets the biggest viewing figures.
As you can see, I'm looking forward to it.
I come up with this brainwave, right? I couldn't sleep one night and I was thinking, what can I do Christmas Day? And it was like, do you know when you get the light bulb moment, you're thinking, that's it. So Philip will be Philip will be passing on his Christmas wishes. He's been told he has to do it for 10 minutes. That's the only guideline. Once 20 minutes, then we've got down to 10 minutes. I'm not budging anymore, Philip. 10 minutes, that's your lot. I will make it worth your while. I'll give you an extra M&M.
No, probably be a bloody pink one anyway.
Well, you love pink ones, so don't be
I don't like pink ones. I don't like pink ones.
Yeah, you love your pink M&Ms. But
anyway, we all will be revealed on Christmas Day. Pre-recorded, of course.
At 3 o'clock, we'll have We'll have the Irish anthem play. We'll have a bit of Tottenham music playing. Then Philip will come on in his throne with the Queen next to him, Mrs. Brady, and he'll be giving his speech. So there you go.
You see what I have to put up with here? Jesus Christ.
I love it. I feel like a kid when I come on to these shows. I really do. I
You
do
act like
love
one as
doing
well.
YouTube.
You act like
Pardon?
one as well.
I
You
know.
act like one as
I
well.
love you. I don't know what you guys think very quickly, but I love YouTubing. I love streaming. I love doing this. I just love doing it. Please pick this up on our Spotify account as well. This will be going up tonight. So please like and subscribe on Kate and Jim's channel. Please like and subscribe on our channel as well. Anyone want to say anything else before we go?
Yeah, this was a dual stream, was it?
I
Yeah.
didn't know until now.
Oh, I didn't either. Didn't have a clue.
Neither did I.
I want to say that we will do something Christmas Day, Kate, because there is
Yeah.
going to be a few people.
I might be a little bit squiffy though.
That's all right.
It doesn't
I'll
matter.
take
Get
it
away
as
with
well.
it on Christmas Day.
I definitely
Right,
tuned in for about 5 minutes.
I forgot to say as well, on Tuesday nights at 8 o'clock, myself and Ellie and also Mia from Spurs Between the Lines do a dual stream for Add to Dairies to Debate. So we've got that this Tuesday as well.
Yeah.
Might have a special guest yet. I'm waiting for confirmation.
Yeah. So we're actually.
I said to you, I'll tell you later, Kate.
We're not
Shut
on this
up.
Tuesday either. I haven't Tuesday off. I haven't had the day off in a while, so I'm having Tuesday off. Philip's up doing his Phil Collins
Jones.
impersonation or Roger Taylor impersonation on Tuesday night up in Dublin, playing the drums. Philip is a very good drummer, by the way. He will give Roger Taylor a run for his money. So there
His
you go.
face.
I know.
You are in a
Pajamas.
band, didn't you, Philip?
Yeah, playing the band on a Tuesday night. Yeah.
Yeah, I knew you did. Yeah.
Yeah,
Rubber
they,
band.
they play classic hits like the wheels on the bus go round and round.
No, we
And
did a
also-
tribute to Shane McGowan the last time. It was very good. Shane McGowan.
And he also plays the massive hit, How Much Is That Doggy in the Window?
How
How'd
much
you
is
put
you
up?
doggy in the window? You doggy in
Yeah.
the window.
You doggy in the
Yeah.
window. But listen, whatever
Don't
you
quit
do,
while
please
you're ahead there, please.
Yeah, I'm going to quit.
while you're
Let's
ahead.
enjoy the rest of your Saturday evening. I'm now going to go spend some time with my missus and have a nice dinner. Yeah, and whatever you do, we're live tomorrow at 4:15. Come on, you Spurs, in Big Antry Trust.
Thanks for having us on.
No
Yeah,
problem.
thank you.
Pleasure,
Really
lads.
enjoyed it.
Lads, Kate
Thank
and
you.
Jim. See you again. All the best.
See you again.
Thanks. Bye, everyone.